So tonight, we're going to be talking about the steps for sound dictation and how to guide students toward recalling the correct letter or letters for the sounds when they have difficulties. And I will also show you a few short video clips demonstrating sound dictation with students and different ways to provide support for them. Sound dictation is a spelling preparation that isolates the individual sounds and letter combinations for targeted practice. The child hears a sound and is asked to recall the letter or letters that make that sound. For the instructor, it is a valuable tool for observing what sounds your students are able to recall quickly and independently, and which need to be reviewed. And this insight allows you to provide corrective feedback and be able to reteach as necessary. On the basic lesson outline, you will find sound dictation listed after tapping the charts. There are two options. You can choose to have the student point to or touch the letters on the chart, or you can have the students write the letter or letters on paper, a salt tray, or on a whiteboard while saying the sound. And when the student writes the letters while saying the sound, that is the most impactful because saying the sound while writing the letters helps move it into their long-term memory faster. As the student works, the teacher observes and notes which sound symbol connections are strong and which need additional review. So in your second edition Teacher Companion Guide, you can refer to this page for specific information about when and how to lead the sound dictation activity. But here are the steps for sound dictation. First, you want to choose 5 to 10 sounds to dictate that are from the charts that the student has already tapped. Then the teacher says the sound of the letter, not the letter name, just the sound. For example, The student will repeat that sound, And the student will either write the letter on paper, on a whiteboard, or in a salt tray, and they say the sound. Or you can have the student touch or mark the sound on the chart while saying the sound. So students may have difficulties recalling the letter or letters that make the sound. And when this happens, you want to refrain from telling them the letters. Instead, use positive language and scaffold the task by increasing the level of support with clues. So start by giving the picture name from the chart. Many times I have found that will prompt the brain to recall the letter. But if not, provide more support by having the chart in view and pointing to the row on the chart where the sound is. And if the student still has difficulty finding the sound, encourage them to tap each sound in the row until they get to it. If the student is writing or pointing to the wrong letter, you can first have them check the chart, or they can find the correct letters and have them write the letters 3 times. And you can do that on a whiteboard, paper, salt tray, whatever you feel is appropriate for that child. And again, the writing along with saying the letter names and the sound helps to move that letter and sound into long-term memory. So now I'm going to show you a few video clips that will demonstrate sound dictation in action and along with different ways to offer support. And I will tell you that I was missing certain parts in this sound dictation. I don't often do where the student points to the sound. And so this one, you may notice that I'm missing a step that I didn't have the student do.
There are 2 more, I think. Okay. No, 3 more that say A. Yes, good job.
Now 2 more.
2 more. I'll give you a hint. It's in the second row.
That one?
That one, yep, you got that one. So there's two more in that row. Yep. One more. They're probably the hardest ones to find. One more in that row. You got it. Good job. Look at how many say A. Great.
Okay. So that one, did you notice what I didn't do? What didn't I do, Carl? I see you shaking your head, nodding
You
your head.
didn't have him repeat. You didn't have him say EI vein A or each one as he was finding them.
Absolutely. So if I were to do that over again, I would have that student, as they put the counter on the chart, say the sound, at least say the sound. They could say the letters EIGHA. That would be optimum. Okay. So I don't really do this a whole lot, the pointing to. I wanted to change it up a little bit for this particular child. Okay. This next little video clip, I have the student writing the letters, and I'm providing clues to help that student recall the letter.
Good. Can you think of one more vowel team that says E?
I-E.
Mhm.
A.
Yep, there's one more.
Okay.
I'll give you a clue. T.
Y.
Y. Good job.
Okay, so that student, I provided that clue, that key word, when she struggled with finding that last sound that says E. And a lot of times when you're doing those vowel teams, it's hard for kids to remember all the sounds, but giving them that little clue will a lot of times jog the memory. This next video is a different student where he's writing the letters as I dictate the sounds. And this particular student could tell me the picture name of the sound, but he couldn't retrieve the letters. So I offered him a little more support using his charts.
Can you think of what says I? When you tap it and you say tie I, do you remember the letters? Let's
I-E.
tie I E says I. Good. Go ahead and write that down.
I've got that. I'm just gonna write that.
Mhm. Okay. All right. What else says I?
Yeah.
Does EI say I? Let's see. Let's check and see. Let's find EI. Do you remember this EI?
No.
Let's look at our picture. Okay, let's see what that says. EI. Does EI say?
Silly evening.
Oh, okay. So it's not EI. That says I. Good. What'd you put down? What letters?
I-G-H.
IGH.
I.
Good job.
That student, he could tell me it was tie, but he couldn't think of the sound. So I pulled out his chart that didn't have pictures and he could find it right away. And then when we did IGH, he couldn't think of, he thought it was EI. So I took that same chart with no pictures just to see if he could find it without the pictures. And he still had a difficult time. So we flipped to the picture chart. So just layering on another scaffold that's going to support him and help him to find the right letters that make that sound. This last video clip shows reteaching the IGH on a whiteboard.
I. G.
Underline it and say I. Good. Go ahead and write it again.
I. G. H. I.
Good.
I. G. H. I.
Nice.
Well, you probably noticed in all of the videos that positive language is used,
The students are being guided to the correct letters, not told. So they're being guided by adding a layer of scaffolding as needed. You want to give them the least amount and gradually add on another layer as needed. We're encouraging them, and all of those things make a student feel good about their learning and also feel successful. So we want that for our children, for them to feel good about their learning and positive, feeling successful. So this concludes our tools in 10 on sound dictation. I hope that it helps you to confidently lead this activity with your students so that you can provide the practice and positive intervention that they need to be able to develop strong sound symbol connections that will prepare them for both spelling and reading success.